Version 18. I remember those days.
Oh yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it?
Back when we were only Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2, wasn't it?
I think Speed Gaming 2 got created in the middle of that tournament.
Speed Gaming 2 definitely was created because of this tournament, yeah. 105 entries in that tournament, too. And it was 3 years ago, yesterday, when it all began.
And then it kind of blew up from there quite immediately. A year later, we had to turn people down when we tried to completely max out Challenge.
Oh my gosh. Back in those days. I was just a runner in that.
Back in those days, I restreamed races more often. I even got to restream the first race ever. Or the first tournament race. We did have a nice little showcase a couple weeks before that.
So let's talk about version 18. What is different about this than what we have in version 31 besides the fact that it's strictly standard?
So, the most notable change that you'll notice immediately is we might have runners with gold sword in less than 10 minutes. Not because they found 4 sword, but simply because we didn't have progressive items at that time.
Define progressive.
So, as you're all used to, if you've been with us the last year or so at this point, was every time that we found a, say, like a sword at this time, it would just give us the next level up. Back in v18, this is also the last version that was this way. Each of the 4 swords were separate items in the pool. So if you found gold sword, you just got gold sword immediately. We didn't have to worry about downgrades though. That was patched and fixed before this particular version, so that if you found, say, a fighter sword after, well, we can't in this version, but if we had found like a master sword after gold sword, we wouldn't be stuck with a weaker sword.
So this is Uncle Assured Sword, pretty much, which means we get our first sword off him, which was the standard for any standard mode play for the longest time. I can't remember what version was it that turned away what is now run as casual to create the pool of possible items that the uncle could give us.
It was right before spring 2018 tournament. We probably had it for like a month before that tournament when we decided that there were different items that we could use reliably so that Uncle didn't have to have a sword in standard.
What is this item that they just picked up?
Oh yeah, we had error upgrades still at that.
Yeah, this was before the days and Quiz Bowl gets a bomb off one of the green guards. Appears to be the only one of these 4 that did pick up a bomb, so doesn't have to worry about the final portion of escape trying to grind up for those.
Yep, but fortunately, it's like these are fairly early in the prize pools.
There we go. 3 of our 4 runners now have a bomb.
Yep, and then I believe in this particular version, unless we got boots early, even the back of escape wasn't actually in logic until you get those gloves.
Yeah. Now, there's something about the capacity upgrades in regards to bombs. What is that?
This particular version actually did give you that first bomb with that upgrade.
That's crazy. The fact that we could actually have a bomb given to us by way of a capacity upgrade as opposed to actually getting some bombs. Now, most of these bombs, the capacity upgrades, they were replaced by 3 bombs, which of course increased the opportunity for you getting bombs that way.
Yeah, V18 was the very last version before progressive upgrades. V19 was what introduced that. That actually came out in the middle of the first tournament.
It came out in the middle of the first tournament, and there was quite a hefty debate on whether or not it should be used. As the tournament moved into the brackets portion, it did turn out that the players pretty much voted to keep things in the progressive, or keep them in the version 18 as opposed to moving on to version 19. All of our runners getting through the ball and chain guard. Chloe Prower, the first of the runners to get upstairs with Zelda. We had some quite substantial times, or some really great times through the escape sequence in last night's race. With like a 5:45 or something?
Yeah, we should see a bunch of sub 6s.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Right now, Gweg and Timp are going to be pushing it as far as 6s are concerned, but Chloe and Quizbowl have pretty standard chances. And of course, Timp still does not have a bomb.
yeah, so we'll see if they farm for a bomb.
Now, the problem is that the next chest is guaranteed not to have any bombs. It's guaranteed to have the small key.
Yeah, no more chests before entering Sanctuary.
Now, there was one other big change that came down the road in regards to Link to the Past Randomizer, and it involves the type of rooms that these runners are in right now.
Oh yeah, so at this point, this was, I think, a V4, V5 change. Was we added the light cone to all the Light World dark rooms, regardless if you had that lamp or not. The idea behind that was so lamp wasn't forced to be an early game item. Oh, I didn't see Temp actually get that bomb, so...
Yeah, he did. So back 3 of escape to get ourselves the map, and there are the boots.
So, good thing Temp actually got that bomb.
Oh, for certain. Because that's something you don't want to be leaving behind. Chloe Prower, the first out at 5:55, is going to be the only one to get through here, sub 6.
Okay, so if something is in Bonk Rocks, we'll have a bit of a broken chain right now at that point.
But if we find a glove, we will have access to Death Mountain. Because as pointed out, that light cone, anywhere in the light world, you were given. Anywhere in the light world. I mean, Aghanim, you had that light cone. The cave up here to the Death Mountain, you had it. So, Where's going to be our first non-progressive item? Shield, glove, armor, sword.
I'm still thinking sword's gonna be the first thing we find. I think we're gonna find at least a tempered first.
I didn't see that. I saw that now. That's a heart container.
All right, much different than last night.
Yeah, last night was a fire rod.
So another big difference in this particular version comes with how items are placed. There was strong preference to make the spheres as big as, or give you as many spheres as possible, meaning as soon as you get a new progression item, you want to go to the place that it unlocks next.
So what you're saying is we should be keeping an eye out to see what might be at the library. And if nothing's at the library, then maybe King's Tomb, because it could very well be Titan's Mitt that gets us the boots and logic.
Yeah. Yep, so right now our boots are not in logic. It's like, since they didn't want something that could be missed the first time around in this game.
And that bookshelf went back in place once after you went through there, right? Is it something like that? Did I remember?
Yes, I'm pretty sure the bookcase closed. So the only access to the back of escape was with glove or mitts.
Yep. We found ourselves a book, so maybe Desert Torch. Map check. And it does turn out we have a 5-6 crystal over at Desert, and we have a blue pendant over at Eastern. Now, notice that 5-6 crystal did not turn red. That was something that was added as a quality of life thing in a later version. There's our glove.
Alright, boots are in logic. We're not out of that chain anymore.
So I'll be keeping a close eye and seeing what we have at the bookshelf. And yeah, this was before we had a lot of the text to go into the English. Like, there was a little bit, but a lot of the quality of life text that you see nowadays was added on in a later version.
Let's see, I think we did have... I think we only had the nice randomized force text. Like our uncle text, or Ganon text, and blind text. I think that was the only thing that was done back then.
Yeah. If you talk to the NPCs, you wouldn't have gotten a cross-product joke, nor would you have gotten the shoutouts to VTorp, nor you have gotten the shoutouts to the champions. Did we see anything of importance in the library?
I completely missed that check.
I did too, but it must not have been anything important because I don't see anything special lighting up on Chloe Prower's screen.
Bottle was in the well.
Bottle was in the well, which everyone will have, and if they don't have it, they will soon have it. I'm sure Chloe has the bottle. Red mail, there's our first non-progressive.
Straight to red mail too. Pretty safe seed now. Still a little bit low on hard spot. Red mail makes up for a lot of it. Temp decides to grab that when you in elaborate anyways. Thinking Zora already. Zora is in logic now.
Yeah, that's something that the glove did. put that into logic, as mentioned before, Death Mountain is in logic because of the free light cone. So part of this was in celebration of 3 years since the original Link to the Past randomizer tournament. 105 runners. I know I was in that. I know my group was filled with... The runner that we had expected to move on was not the runner who moved on at all.
I forgot who all was in your group.
I had Dark Ori, Elminster back when he was Elminster, and Fred was in that group as well. I think there was one other person, and I can't think of their name at this very second. Turned out to be a 3-way tie for first place. Top 2 moved on. Came down to me and Fred bombing the chest at Boldorm 2. Setting the Greenleaf effect and Dorkmaster Fleck into hysterics.
Good time.
Oh, for certain. Chloe's grinding up on those rupees.
Oh yeah, another thing to note right now is like once we get access to our tablets, this version still did not have the ability to check what was on the tablets. So you did need that Master Sword to actually check it out.
Yeah. It would not let you inside, or would not let you have any sort of hint of what was there. You had to come back later on if it turned out to be something of importance.
Yep, the only book hint we got was Pedestal.
And back then, book couldn't be on the pedestal. Remember that?
I don't remember that, but that makes sense too.
But yeah, back then, the book was impossible to be put on the pedestal. Hey, Chloe Prower's doing something that isn't V18. It's been one of the many things that we had discovered about this game ever since the original tournament.
This was found like right at the end or right after the end of the first. I know we started messing around with this a lot in the summer. And I know Willard, J. Bradley, and I tried to show off getting this particular item without flippers using the...
Speaking of flippers!
Huh. How about that?
Silvers turned out to be on the ledge. On the Zor ledge.
And nothing from Zora.
That's right. So Gwag is going to be checking that boot portion of this regarding to the torch by the looks of things. Seeing if that book is meant for some purpose as well.
Like, so there was a question in chat. Could Chloe use Water Walk to get to Silvers? Not with the way that it was set up.
Yeah.
You would actually have to set up Water Walk, and then you have to go down and do the fake flippers, and then you have to carry that fake flippers all the way down there, and then actually activate the Water Walk by hopping off that waterfall.
Yep. Yeah, it had to be a stored water walk at that point, but because he didn't store it, there was no way to do so. Magic Cape. Remember version 18 seemed to be one of those kind of versions that love to put Moon Pearl on the pyramid?
Yeah, and this is looking like one of those seeds right now, because that is our Aghanim access.
Absolutely. Because you don't need to have the lamp for Aghanim back in version 18, the light cone existed. Which means lamp could very well be deep in the Dark World.
Quiz Bowl is going to turn in that mushroom. Not enough money for Zor, so we'll probably see that saving point right here. No fire source, so Greg is done with desert.
And he's the only one of these runners right now who can logically pick up those silvers. A shovel! So we're gonna go from one fetch quest to another fetch quest. Because why not?
Why not indeed?
Another thing that's interesting about this. There you go. That's what's interesting about this. You're not going to find out what green pendant is by talking to Sahasrahla.
Knowledge denied.
Quiz Bowl going to see what that shovel yields. Tip now has the flippers in addition to Gweg.
Yo, that mirror.
Mirror! That gives us access to the Tower of Hera. However, no guarantee we can finish that dungeon.
Yep, no hookshot, no hammer, so still not a whole lot of value, but it is our new access point so far.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Quiz Bowl's making his way over towards the desert as well, real soon. Answering some questions from chat. Version 18 was back in the day when progressive was not a thing. We've seen all of one non-progressive thing at this point, and that is getting the red mail before we got the blue mail. The red mail was turned out to be inside of the dam. But we could very well find Tempered Sword to be our next sword, or it could be the Gold Sword. We could find Mirror Shield to be our first shield. It looks like Chloe Prower's getting ready to turn in that mushroom by setting up a fake flipper. We have all of these upgrades that we're seeing, the bomb upgrades and the bomb upgrades, which help increase your capacity.
But looks like at this point our progression now is Death Mountain and likely even Hera. We've seen a ton of things already.
There's the shovel pickup for Chloe. I'm just waiting for somebody to make that trip up to the mountain at this point and see what we have up there. As Chloe will pick up the mirror in just a moment.
Yeah, I imagine... I think Chloe might go to Death Mountain, right?
Yep, this is going to be going up the mountain. I know we pointed this out many times, but this was a major component of this era of Link to the Past. The fact that Chloe does not have the lamp marked off means absolutely nothing at this point. It's all for the Dark World. Which, interestingly enough, back in that time, if a particular 3 dungeons were pendants, lamp could have been in GT.
Very much so.
If Palace of Darkness, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock all were pendants, there was a non-zero chance that we could see a lamp in GT. Now, obviously, we've changed around to include an advanced logic since then, but for a while, it pretty much guaranteed lamp going to be fire rod. That looked like a fire rod. Was that the fire rod?
I think so.
I think it had a red tip.
It was really hard to see. We will see when.
Yeah, that would be a fire rod. Oh, there's our tempered sword. Quiz is heading to Aghanim, and little does he know there's actually some good upgrades up here in the mountain that would at least help him out with the climb up this tower.
Yep, we'll still see if that's Dark World access. We still need a hammer, or that mitts. Those mitts to get into Dark World.
We also need a moon pearl.
And a moon pearl. So
that tempered sword, by the way, opens up the ether tablet.
And we've got just a beat.
Bottle number 2.
So Terra will need to have pearl and mitts or hammer for Ag and impede the absolute bad play. Or just getting hammer at least opens the rest of East Death Mountain, or opens East Death Mountain.
Hookshot 2.
Yeah.
By the way, you notice how none of these runners have opted to go into Waterfall Cave? Why is that?
Because that's a year ahead of its time.
There was nothing in there, was there?
Nope, just our pyramid.
And there's Squid going in there. Or no, he was no, I thought he was at the never mind. He was somewhere. He just wasn't where I thought he was. He just went into the water. Chloe goes down the middle hole and we'll be finding a 2-floor drop. So another change back in version 18. Quiz Bowl's gonna find it soon.
No wasted arm.
No blue balls.
So all the RNG as far as wasted attacks from bosses have been removed. So we won't see any extra Ganon warps, and we won't see any blue balls from Egg. We'll still have all the movement RNG and stuff like that, but... Oh, and one more thing. Dig game.
15. There's the silver arrows for Gwag, the first of the runners who was able to actually pick that up as Tim gets his shovel. So obviously we could go through a guess the blue balls guess here for Quiz Bowl. However, it is absolutely irrelevant. Chloe had a lot of effort to get a small key.
Yep, and we've already got one of the items? Maybe 2. No,
Yeah,
that'd only be 1. It's like if we had both of those, then no reason to actually try to go for that big chest.
Yeah, we had 1 item. Gwag is going to be the second person to head up to the mountain, and I have every reason to assume that Timp is following him as well.
Yeah, just following those gloves and mirror.
Now, we got the fire rod from the old man. So, you know what my immediate thought is?
Back inside.
You go back downstairs and you see what's at that down at the big key chest.
I looked off Quiz Bowl's screen just long enough to miss the pyramid.
But however, he picked up a hook shot.
Yo.
So there is something nice there that will give Quiz Bowl a few extra checks when he goes back up the mountain. We got our first look at the Dark World, and we do see pennants at Turtle Rock and Ice, and the other part of the 5-6 is going to be over at Thieves Town. All right, what do you think is going to be here, JC?
I am thinking. Let's go with the
Let's go with the what?
bow.
The bow. No, it's the Moon Pearl.
That works too. But, so that Aghanim play is required.
Shout outs to the devs, by the way, who did put the red crystals as well as the blinking, flashing indicator with the green pendant. Because, yeah, that was difficult to see Thieves Town being part of the 5-6. We do have an Aga required seed, however... Wait, how many items did we get in the desert?
I think we only got one. We'll double check again on Greg's side.
Chloe's about to pick up the flippers. It is for a crystal, so we definitely need to be in here.
A red crystal at that too. Or 5-6 crystal.
You know, throughout the entire thing, we haven't even told people how they can play this while they're watching this. Because Sinek, who is also racing in this, and has done a whole lot of things behind the scenes to help out, optimize, and make things a whole lot easier for the community to play this game, had at one point in time, at the very early winter, like maybe a couple months ago, came up with the resource of doing a throwback. And put it together, put it on a website, and people can play this, right?
Oh yeah. Yep, I was having a blast from the past moment. I decided to look at my challenge, like, hey, and then look at my old resources to figure out when the first match. Hey, it's been 3 years already.
So how can people play this?
That link that JC Strickland has posted in chat for us, throwback.synec.live.
I believe there's also a command for that, !! throwback.
Yep. Synec still hasn't decided how long he's going to keep that throwback up. But it's there for right now.
People are getting very happy about Aga being required. Why?
It's all about torturing the runner. Their torture is our amusement.
Is that the mission statement of speed gaming?
No, that's just the mission statement of our viewers. We're just merely presenters of that suffering.
I like the way the cat has put this in chat. It adds to the duration of the fun.
There are mathematical formulas to describe the fun for us. Greg is going to get that shovel. Shovel is going to lead Greg over to Mirror. Over to Death Mountain. Or back to Death Mountain, rather.
And then he'll come under the realization that we do have an Agus seed.
Yep, and then there's going to be no other places for Chloe to go after this, other than to pick up those silver arrows from the left. So, Ag will be Chloe's only play after this.
I am getting a... Well, actually, I don't know why I'm getting this vibe. Like, Quizbull feels like he had missed something.
I wonder if Quizbull forgot about the light cone.
But why would he forget that when he just climbed a Bagus tower and the light cone was there?
Good point as well.
That's what I was trying to think, and now he's finally chiming in and figuring it out by way of that mirror. Or not.
Because that mirror would have been a strong pull in for v18 to actually head over to Tower of Hera.
He needs to go into that cave, and he needs to go into that cave right now.
That's the only thing he can do other than head up to Zora.
And we know Zora has absolutely nothing, and come on, go into the cave. Come on, Quizbull.
You know you want to.
You've already seen some dark rooms illuminated in the light world, Death Mountains included. That too is calling your name. Wags in Tower of Hera.
And you got your hook shot to get you to East Death Mountain.
Yeah, where apparently there's more to the seed over on that side.
Uh-oh.
We're getting indication that he had not visited the bottle vendor, and as a result has not purchased the glove. So therefore, that's the reason why Death Mountain is not an option to him, is because
Quizbull never farmed for any rupees. That makes sense.
and he's taking a whole lot less time to figure that out than it took for me, and he's gonna bomb him. And bonk for good night. That exists. That is the reason why he couldn't figure that part out. Now with that put together, he's gonna go up the mountain.
All the pieces are put together. Well, that also is going to help him just a touch, too. As far as already having done Aghanim and got that hook shot, that's going to give this Death Mountain play a little bit more value in the end.
Yeah, he's a step above the other three runners because of the fact that he's already done Aghanim, already has the hook shot, so this is a single trip up the mountain. I have to see whether or not I need to kill, say, Ryu X.
I will say I was misled by what my commentary stream showed me next is in this little.
What's
Nope.
that?
I would say I was misled by what the tracker box told me,
Yeah.
but no big deal. It's tough keeping track of 4 people on stream.
There have been other people besides me who have forgotten about the bottle vendor. I have heard stories about other people forgetting the bottle vendor. I know a very, very veteran Link to the Past randomizer and Link to the Past runner who is playing in the league who forgot this past weekend. I am not going to name names, but I am not the only one to forget about the bottle vendor.
Yes, like bottle vendor's easy for forget if you don't actually have that 100 rupees already for whatever. It's one of those easy to orphan locations if you, with CAC being such an early play.
You know, there's that runner who forgot to open up the chest in Sanctuary in the first tournament. Well, we're talking about people forgetting things. I wonder what that dug up. Probably dug up some old memories. And that's why we're here,
Yeah.
right?
Getting all the old memories.
Wag thinking.
Alright, Chloe's gonna have that hook shot. We'll see if we see a dip over to Pod or go straight up to Catfish.
Hey, Quiz Bowl, this is a glitch that was not in version 18. What is it called?
Say that again?
Hey, Quiz Bowl is doing something that wasn't in version 18. This glitch. What is it called?
They call that Harapot. But anyways, what Chloe decides to do is go straight to the other side of Dark because
Oh, well. Yeah, that is something. That definitely is something. That could be where the progression is, not the east side of the Death Mountain. Into King's Tomb we go. And we get 300 rupees for that.
very nice. He attempts just a few seconds away from getting that hook shot as well. Greg's got a couple minutes, then we'll be done with Aga.
Mm-hmm. And then all 4 of our runners on screen will have defeated Aghanim. And they'll probably be hating themselves for taking 40 minutes to get to the conclusion that Aghanim was required in this seed. We find Quake up in the graveyard ledge.
We'll find out if it's needed eventually.
Yes, we will.
Alright, Quizball, let's see if you will orphan that basement in Hera.
No, he won't. And that's a very good move. Because that's going to cause him some pain once he gets done with this mountain to have to go back up the mountain. Our container on Bumper Ledge. So we had 105 runners in that tournament. Who was the winner of that tournament?
AJ Neb.
The Banana.
The banana.
Didn't he win more than one tournament?
2. The
Yeah,
one
he
right
won.
after her as well.
Yeah, he won the second main tournament. I say main tournament because wasn't there a second tournament in between the two, wasn't there a tournament in between the two that was the an entrance shuffle?
Yeah, somebody had made. Let's see, it was AA that made the entrance shuffle at that point. That took a pre-randomized run and added entrance shuffle to that and did some extra stuff. Fun stuff.
Which eventually the entrance shuffle became part of the main component of Link to the Past Randomizer. And then, of course, we had the open tournament, which got divided into two separate tournaments. We had the main tournament, and then we had the secondary tournament. And then there was tournament number 4, which was put on by us at Speed Gaming.
The Key Sanity tournament.
Oh my goodness. That had over 200 runners in it.
A lot of things came out in a pretty short period of time after the first tournament.
They all just kind of blended together after a while.
Those are Met and Ice Rod. That is not strictly neat.
Well, the bits are.
Yeah. Ice Rod's not. It's
Clothing Power has finished off Mafia, though.
Let's see. Our pendants are Eastern, Ice Palace, and Turtle. So, unless we need something from Pedestal, a medallion. Looks like Pedestal is dead.
Oh well.
It happens.
It happens, yeah. Life goes on. Have we checked Catfish yet? I want to say this is our first look.
I think it's our first as well.
Blue Cane.
Just to max out our inventory. Fun stuff. Oh, I guess Pedestal could have Flute as well.
Yeah, Flute would be the other possibility, because it's either a medallion that we need to get into Misery Mire, or Flute that gets us over to Misery Mire. And just a shout out to Saber UX, who's been clicking the buttons. Gwag does have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, we have not seen Hive Cave yet since it's a pretty long trip to get over there for us, right?
Yeah.
It'll be the last thing we see in this trip in Dark World for right now.
There's the Red Cane in Hookshot Cave.
And the bow in C-shaped house.
We are getting places. But we were mentioning about all the tournaments that that are being put on here, between the entrance shuffle and various other things that we have going on throughout the past 3 years. It's amazing what kind of tournaments continue to be ran. The ones that are continuing to grow. Like, for instance, what is going on concurrent to us on a few of our other channels right now with the Link to the Past Randomizer League.
Yep, we've got League. We've seen a couple Overworld Glitches tournaments since this Overworld Glitches was just a few months after the end of the first tournament.
We need to do some more Overworld Glitches daily races.
Sure, we can arrange that.
I just get worried about putting them on and getting about three people registered because we don't give them a long enough of a warning that we're doing it, and be like, okay.
A logic required tournament.
You mean I can't ice break? I think that might honestly be what would make it difficult, because you got to be able. That would be a big sticking point, is governing what actually is allowed. Catching a big Gweg wanted to catch the ferry, and the ferry went away. But one thing to note is this has been a great 3 years. How about the spoiler tournament that happened last year? That was interesting.
Definitely.
Give people 15 minutes and see how they route things up. Who knew you could speedrun a randomizer?
Very fun stuff. It's also nice that being able to just brush up on just like general speedrunning skills and being able to route something on the fly really fast.
I mean, Z1R does a lot of that with their Router Relish battle royales. It's just you give them a week to study a seed and how they route it, and they take what would take an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes on their first playthrough, and finish it by the end of the week in 25 minutes.
That's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. We kind of run out of vanilla games. You try to have these blind routing tournaments. So, Randomizer definitely brings a lot of life to that sort of stuff.
I mean, why would you do anything vanilla? Lawnmower's where it's at now. Chloe Prower's going to be finishing up Crystal number 4 real soon.
Well, Blind asked about if we're doing a blind run.
I think the answer is yes, we are doing a blind run. This is not a spoiler race.
Yep, we ran over to you, Blind. We ran to you. So this is a blind run.
I see what you did there. Half magic. And it was half magic. No quarter magic in either of these throwback races.
Aw, man. Quarter magic was quite OP.
Oh yeah, quarter magic was pretty much, hey, I can span the fire rod for all of Gauntlet and not have to worry about my magic. Yeah, Lawnmower. We had a tournament. We had a one-day only tournament of that back in November. And you know, the thing is that we talk about these other various things that have come. A lot of these things have helped come because of what this tournament has done to the resources of speed gaming. Oh, by the way, JC?
Yo.
Everyone is playing as Link. Why is that?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't until V19 that we started allowing custom sprites. Including the invisible sprite.
Yeah.
If you haven't played as the invisible sprite yet, you need to do this.
Pedestal's dead.
Well, there goes Pedestal. Didn't see what it was, but I just know it's dead.
Pocket change. Chloe Prower's getting very, very close to the place that we call Hype Cave. And the reason why it's been called Hype Cave was something that originated back in version 18 when Hype Cave was really stocked of good things. Now, last night you did commentary with Synac, and that Hype Cave was disappointing, to say the very least. So I want to see a better hype cave this time around. I want to see the people that are watching this right now to throw out the hype. Come on, let's see the hype symbols. After Chloe checks Bombo's tablet.
Maybe it'll be Go Mode Cave for us tonight.
It could very well be. Won't be go mode for Chloe. That'll be no mode for us.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see some hype from chat.
Yo.
I'm feeling this hypeness.
Most thought Glory was hopping into Swamp without a hammer. For one check. We've had quite a few seeds in the V18 tournament where Hammer was in that first chest.
Yeah, I think it happened in a Willow J. Bradley race. Single rupee. No. No. Magic powder. Hammer!
And butter.
Gold sword! There's the hype we've been looking for.
The hype gods have been appeased due to chat's hypeness. This is a...
Oh! Wasn't there a glitch here in regards to where Gweg is, in regards to the amount of rupees you could pull out of that cave?
Oh, it used to let us infinitely farm rupees all the... Not something that they necessarily do this season.
Yeah, but if you ever needed rupees, that's where you could go to grind. So we couldn't find the hammer in Swamp. So it was a good thing that Chloe did do Hype Cave before diving in.
For sure.
Obviously, we don't know if we're going to be in go mode for a little bit longer. We know we need to have the flute, and there are still two outstanding medallions.
Yep, and then Chloe's got 2 dungeons before running out of options and have to go to East Death Mountain, where we found Mitz and Paradox Cave.
Mitz and Paradox, Cana Samaria in Hookshot Cave. Quiz Bowl, because of his routing, was the only one to see that information. And plus Lamp was on Floating Island from what I heard. And Quiz Bowl just opted not to pick it up.
Yep, being a seasoned veteran, able to consistently get Lamp Glitch or Torch. On the game fight, that is.
I'm still keeping an eye on Chloe Prowler because I have a... That's the only new information we have. Now, one thing we didn't bring up about the digging game when Chloe was there, that Timp is at now, it's, as you mentioned earlier, it's guaranteed to be 15 digs to get the item. And it was always just going to be 15 items. Chloe found the ether. It got put in the wrong spot under Timp's, but Chloe found the ether in the south end of Swamp. Ah, we have another glitch that has just joined the ranks of version 31. What is this called?
Diver. So, the only collision detection that's needed on that particular area is right where the developers intend you to hop in. So if we hop in from another spot, the game doesn't recognize to toss you into swimming state.
And therefore you can check those 2 chests and just get on out. I still don't know how to pull that off. But these runners definitely make it look easy. We may never have to go into Ice Palace. We will never get to see Icebreaker. Unless the flute turns out to be there.
Yeah. I mean, we could see flute on track. That's still not. It's not out of the realms of possibilities yet either.
That is correct. There's the crystal for Chloe. That is crystal number 5 of 7.
And
As Tip is finding out the wonderful discoveries that is Hype Cave.
yep. So I imagine Chloe's gonna go ahead and grab that bomb and go straight to Pyramid. After checking left-hand side.
And then can route that together with a trip into Palace of Darkness. Speaking of Palace of Darkness, that's where Timp is heading to right now.
Yep, not in logic as far as Temp is concerned, but is very well in logic based on the items we saw on Death Mountain.
Anything else you remember about the first tournament?
I don't remember anything pod related from first tournaments.
Neither did I.
Being able to do Darkroom used to be a really big thing.
Yeah. In the first tournament, you had some players. You had 105 players, but not everybody knew how to go about playing various portions of the mode.
Chloe deciding to abandon that super bomb.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly happened with Chloe's attempt to get that bomb, but something went amiss and has opted just to roll with the punches and head on over to the Palace of Darkness.
Yep, unfortunately we did find that pedestal is completely dead. Greg checked that out after completing Skullwoods. Something that was fun in Thieves Town that happened. So Kanzion had decided to redip Thieves Town to check the big chest. Gets to the big chest, presses Y instead of it, with the mirror out. We were so excited to find out what was in that chest, except he went to the beginning.
I know Saberyu is posting a lot of clips in here, but that first pod shenanigans was actually Misery Mire. It was the infamous Willard J. Bradley mirror after going through the Mire dark rooms. I remember that. Willard still gets made fun of for that clip.
For a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I mean...
But looks like we haven't seen anything of importance yet in pod. It is forced right side since that first chest was not a key.
It seems so strange seeing 46 arrows on a runner.
I don't know.
Now there's an unfortunate mirror. Chloe ended up mirroring instead of heading the bomb, wanting to go down to the vanilla big key chest and hit the Y button to find you're back to start.
Whoopsie.
Perfect timing, I guess. And Temp getting hit, pushed off the bridge, has to do this all over again. Tim's been checking a few other things that we haven't had the chance to see because he already has the Titan mitts. And I have not been keeping up to see what he's been finding. Four-person restreams are tough.
Very.
Blue mail. As you notice, we didn't downgrade.
And looks like Quiz Bowl never did desert, so can't do the bomb.
Yeah, an unfortunate error there.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking at this point he might hold off until he hopefully finds a flute, but we haven't seen flute yet in pod.
It's just amazing how talented runners got at this game over the past 3 years. Shoutouts to the runners that we have in many of these tournaments.
Tamp has made it to the other side of the dark maze and finds nothing so.
Yeah, single rupee. That's the second single rupee of the game.
But we will get that required crystal out of this dungeon, so this is not a wasted. I believe there is an item on Almost Nights.
In Eastern.
In Eastern.
Interesting. Yeah, because we have the map remaining here. Unless it's just one of those stinker of a seeds where the bow is given to you just so you can get to the end of the game.
It's looking like that right now. We'll find out.
And bear in mind that the Arnold Knights are analogic for all of these runners without that lamp because of the free light cone in the light world dungeons.
Yep, so right now, lamp is the only thing that we've seen that was actually unlocked by Titan's Mitts. Have not found a lot of other things in a Titan's Myth locked area.
There is another item. And Quiz Bowl has it. And he's the only one who has it. The Cane of Samaria in Hookshot Cave.
Oh yeah, that was I thought that was in Paradox. For some reason I thought Kane was with your.
Which makes me wonder what we may find in Turtle Rock. We never got a look at the medallion requirement by the looks of things. Yeah, it looks like Chloe and Timp are both heading to the Helmstar King fight at the same exact frame.
Very nice.
So whoever has a slower fight, they can take some lessons from the other. Chloe is done, and Timp is done.
Nice and clean fights. Almost
Yeah.
operated.
About a second difference between the two. I know Timp got hit by one of the fireballs, so therefore that disturbed him from maybe getting another of the hammer hits. Argus fight for Quiz Bowl. I was gonna say, is that a new strat that Quiz Bowl showing us? But may have just accidentally had the Cane of Samaria when he thought it was going to be the other.
Alright, let's see what Tim does. I'm thinking, at this point, it's kind of looking like Big Bomb at this point. No, has not done Swamp yet, so probably heading towards that way.
Well, Timp does have access to this pyramid bomb if he wants to check it now, but that looks like that's going to be a solid no, as Chloe now heads up to the mountain. Now, we do have access, perhaps, to Turtle Rock. We have 2 medallions out of the 3 that are possibly in the pool, which grants us a fairly significant chance that we can get into Turtle Rock at this point.
So Chloe's got that ice rod and Mitts now. Has a hammer, so could actually check and get into Turtle Rock at this point.
And that was one of the main reasons why Quizbowl probably opted not to check on his original trip in. Didn't have the ability to get in no matter what. But Chloe is going to strike the 3 hammer pegs here and get inside to see just what we're facing.
For sure. And I'm thinking we need to enter either Turtle Rock or do that Pyramid Ferry.
Interesting decision by Chloe not to open up the portal while up there with the ether being required to get in.
And the only other access right now is, for as far as dungeons, is going to be Ice Palette. But Turtle Rock is also that green pendant. And seeing that Ice Rod and Cane of Samaria pretty soon, close together, that probably should be a pretty strong pull to say, hey, hop into Turtle Rock now.
That plus the lamp too.
And the lamp, yeah.
Like, this thing is screaming, get my green pendant. Or at least get to Laser Bridge. Now, who are we kidding? Answer to all of our problems is going to be in Mimic Cave.
Always Mimic Cave.
Until it's not.
Do you recall Andy getting knocked out of the first tournament because he didn't hop into Mimic Cave, which was the very first extra sword found the entire seed?
I do remember that. I also remember a Ninjembro race where both runners were facing a fighter sword. I think it was against Parisian player, where both runners were facing with a fighter sword through much of the seed until Parisian player found the gold sword at Bombos.
Yep, and Chloe is gonna hop into Turtle Rock, reading that cane, ice rod, and lamp so close together. And this is the most dense place you can enter that can be entered in a lot.
That Staphos needs to go away.
Yeah, they like to have fun with.
There we go. Tim gets it. Oh, those Eye-Trucks need to go away for Gweg. Oh, it was Newbie, not Ninja. It was Newbie, not a Parisian player. I just know that was one of those early races, and it was a double header that day. And Ninjambro was the other runner that was in my group that was together with Elminster, Fred, and Dark Ori and myself. And little did we know that that group is going to come down to two runners that nobody had really thought was going to take that division, take that group, and then Jembro and Fred. So this is a showcase of the version 18 throwback that Synac has put together for people to go and have fun with. And if you want to have more information about how you can play the version 18 throwback to the day when progression was not a thing, you could get a gold sword as your second sword. Hey, you could even have red mail first thing. You could be beefed up with armor and defense within the first 5 minutes of the seed. Do exclamation point throwback. It's for a limited time only, so have some fun. Play it. And swap the bot because the exclamation point throwback is apparently not working.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna mention what flute. Did we just get a flute? Whoa, boy! I think Timp has a flute in his arsenal.
I thought Chloe re-dipped and went to left sides.
I don't think Chloe did. I think Chloe went to Argus and left. We'll find out in just a second as soon as Tim goes to his menu because he's going to pull out the hook shot.
Yep, so Chloe did not dip.
Okay, we have a shovel, which probably means we're not seeing where the flute is. But if Tim has pulled out the flute, then that's a piece of the puzzle that Chloe is missing out in and is digging an unnecessary turtle rock.
Possibly. We still gotta see what that medallion is, but we'll find out kind of shortly. Tim still needs to go to East Death Mountain to get those mitts.
Yep, Tim does, so we still are a ways away from that, but that's huge if Tim pulled out left side swamp, because we know of two runners who have gambled that the left side swamp is not needed.
One of our late races in the first tournament, one of the AJ9 versus Christos. It was so interesting. So Ben had skipped Big Chest and Swamp, and then it turned out to be a pedestal seat as well.
This game has been wrecking people for making gambles like that since 2017. Yeah, this start here from the Sanctuary from Timp is giving me reasons to believe that he had pulled out the flute. And yeah, There it is. Argus is down for Gweg.
All right.
How many people do we have in this race? Because you're going to be starting to think that something is up if we get to the end of this race. You haven't found the flute, but all of a sudden you start seeing the .duns flow in from people who have found a flute.
Looks like 35 people in this race. 35, 36.
Because you know somebody's going to be god routing this. It's kind of hard not to have people do make the same gambles. Otherwise.
Alright, Greg is gonna get that flute. Did Quizzball get it and we didn't notice? I see that sanctuary restart.
Well, we're going to find out in just a moment. This is where having 4 streams can really lead to us missing things. No, he is just running to the portal. Shout out to Leximus Prime, who's keeping us on our toes here.
Yeah.
Also, Tim has the Ether Medallion. Pick that up out of the south side of Swamp. Probably see Tim pick up the lamp ollies here.
I think so.
Shoutouts to Tim, who, because of the popularity of Link to the Past Randomizer, has done an extraordinary job together with a few others at a thing called the Go Mode Podcast. Great podcast. They had me on as a guest for one of them. You know, a great crew of people. Dante, Herfy Durfy, Timp, Exil also does some work over there for the Go Mode crew. Probably cheering on Timp as he goes throughout this race. From Gweg. Magic Bad Check here for Quiz Bowl.
So we found nothing in Turtle Rock. Let's see what that green pendant gets us.
Nothing.
That bait.
Rupees. Badly baited by that Turtle Rock. Japanese text telling us how to lay down the red bomb.
Yeah.
So 2 of our runners has the flute out of left side Swamp. 2 of our runners do not. They apparently had gambled left side Swamp, and they're leaving behind a major item. And Timp is going to be just a Canis and Mario away from being in likely go mode, as Chloe is popping into Ice Palace.
Yeah, we'll find out in the next minute or so what medallion we need to enter mine. That is the last piece of the puzzle that we need to know. No medallions in Pyramid Fairy. Greg needs to make his way up to Death Mountain.
One of our 4 items right there. Temp is going to pick up the lamp. And Chloe probably is going to be doing the new glitch called Icebreaker in just a moment. So Temp grabbing the lamp. Now...
Spike Cave.
Yeah. This might be a defensive play at this point, just to protect against the possibility of the other medallion being needed. He does have Ether. The only one he doesn't have is Bombos, and we have no idea where Bombos is as Chloe sets up this icebreaker, lighting himself on the far right and then turning to the left real fast, one frame, trying to lay down a Samaria block, gets it. There we go.
There we go.
There's the blue P4 Temp. Now let's head on over and see what we need to do to get into Misery Mire. That's not gonna work. That's gonna be a mirror bonk. There's the mirror shield.
Yeah.
Do you remember some other aspects to this tournament back in 2017? Like back when commentators were yelling at Cruel because he was leaving behind a check in the Sea House? What medallion was that?
Don't remember.
Bombos. We need Bombos to get into... There it is!
As you were saying...
Right underneath the doorstep there, Temp is in go mode at 1 hour 24.
And which is one crystal to go. The one that we're about to get as soon as we find that big key.
Version 18. Follow the train. Unfortunately, following the chain got Chloe baited into Turtle Rock. But not getting the flute also led to Chloe getting baited into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's definitely the not getting the flute on top of the items that were found in Paradox and Hookshot.
Version 18 had that nasty mean streak into it, where if you fell off the path, you were in for a world of hurt. And Chloe is in for a world of hurt. Quizbowl, I think, is starting to get an idea that he needs to go back into Swamp.
I think he's doing the the fairy. And
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Chloe's about to do next.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Greg's about to get those mitts, that king. Oh, already got the mitts, but that king. So far, no big key in Mire.
Silver's pickup for Chloe. And this bottle exchange here for quiz isn't going to really work out that great. Because I think back then, this was back when it was green potion always. Or I threw a bow in there. Doesn't work that way either. Tip is grabbing some fairies. Should have enough safety to get him through the upcoming fight against Vitreous.
For sure.
Although he's using up all of his magic to grab that anti-fairy and ended up not getting it.
Shame. But there's plenty of anti-fairies coming up.
Mm-hmm. He's got 50 arrows. Unfortunately, they're not silver arrows.
Okay, Greg's got that lamp. Gonna check out the rest of these, Hookshot Cave. Not gonna find anything, but no big deal.
Yeah, you're here. You might as well at least to make sure. Because, again, if it's bombos, you're feeling kind of iffy until you walk into Meyer's shed to find out, hey, look. The answer is where you think it is. Underneath the doorstep. The key's underneath the mat. It's what Randomizer does best.
Yep, and then this is Quizball's first trip to Zora. Does see those... Nope, I guess second trip. Yep, Quizball and Chloe need to head back to Swamp and check out those left side of Swamp.
Yeah, going through the left side of Swamp is what they're missing at this point. Timp is on to the second stage of this Vitreous fight. Could have done the first stage a little bit faster if he ended up pulling out the magic cape and just dashed through the eyeballs, but he does survive the fight, and that is the most important part. And therefore, Timp is getting ready to head into Ganon's tower. So if you've been following along with us, but not of any of the other runners who may be in this race, we are going to ask a question that has become very synonymous with races here on the Speed Gaming channels. JC, take it away.
All right. So there are 22 chests that we can check out in the bottom of Ganon's tower before we can find the big key. Put your guesses in chat. Anywhere from 1 to 22. Go. I'm thinking, let's go with 7.
I'm going with 2.
Alright, Chloe is heading back into... Going to get that flute, check out what's needed to enter Mire. Gonna hop into Mire Shed and get axe and be in go mode.
And I don't think Chloe has much other options at this point. I think every single option, except for maybe one, it has been exhausted. So Chloe knows that we're getting something here. As Quizball pulls off the icebreaker in a dungeon he doesn't need to be in. And Timp is making his way after finishing off with the Vitreous fight to go into GT, the first of these 4 on the restream.
And the thing that's going to hurt Quizball even more is Quizball's probably going to go straight to Turtle Rock right after this as well, after this Ice Palace.
So Chloe making the way over to the left, and Quizball's coming down to finding the second item. We'll soon find the third and realize that this is no more. Shoutouts to quarter beeping. Was that a thing back in version 18? The ability to go half beeps?
I don't.
I know quarter beeps wasn't a thing, but I know half beeps has been around for a while. Number 1, 20 rupees. Number 2, 5 rupees. Not over here. Shout out to all the friends we've made during this path. 3 years of these things here on Speed Gaming, many daily races. We could talk about all the tournament winners we've had over the years. Ben ended up winning the first 2 of them, and he ended up taking a tournament himself. Witty Words ended up winning the SG Live event back last October. And by the way, stay tuned for details. At some point in time down the road, we will be able to tell you about SG Live 2020. Won't that be exciting, JC?
That'll be very exciting once we get that all lined up.
Obviously, the news of the last couple of days, Summer Games Done Quick being moved to August. Week of my birthday, actually. Ooh, Timp, oh, nice hook shot right there. That helped. And then, of course, RPG LB, Limit Break ending up getting shifted around in their schedule. They're possibly moving to a fall or somewhere later down the year for themselves. They haven't announced exactly when. But really, really do hope that people remain safe and people remain fine. As Squag switches on over to the Silver Arrows. Something that Tim's not going to have for this upcoming trip up the gauntlet, as well as Ganon's Tower.
And we can invite itself. But that should be crystal number 7 for Greg. I did see that pyramid, so I know...
Yeah, he's got Thieves Town. But yeah, stay tuned, because at some point down the road, we will give you information about SG Live 2020. We can tell you it's going to be sometime in the fall. When exactly, we're working on it.
Yes, we've noticed some other things are shifting around as well. And so we're trying not to have too much overlap on that as well. So
yeah, and that's the big thing, is that we want to be able to have an event, but not compete with other events. Established events is the big thing.
But we do have some other exciting events coming up in the next few months that will provide more details once we hit those hashtags.
Yeah, we might have some event coming up at the end of May.
Yep, and then Chloe's got that bomb and is now in go.
Yeah,
Greg
and Quizbowl's back. And Quizbowl's back in Swamp, going to left side.
And Greg is climbing up Death Mountain to make it to GT.
Oh, a little bit late on the hook shot. Tried to do the block clip there to get him without having to climb up the second section. While we're talking about that, Timp is on the 5th floor dealing with the Wiz Robes. But for certain, stay tuned. We got a lot of good announcements to come. You know, we're definitely taking the time off, as the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament Committee is, while the league is being played out. And I do hear rumors that the spoiler tournament's going to be coming back soon. Going into Ganon's Tower.
Timp on Moldorm 2 slashes with his butter sword gets us a nice little chest to give it for us to hook on and hop across with.
Yep, it is a chest. Oh, Quizbowl's bombing where the flute turned out to be, hammering it. He's not happy with what he found inside.
Yep, we saw lots of bombs that day, or that tournament. And this is the second location that Quiz Bowl has bombed,
Yeah,
including that bottle vendor.
Yeah. I don't think that bottle vendor is recovered.
I don't think so. I mean, it wasn't the bottle vendor's fault that Quiz Bowl didn't have enough rupees the first.
Yeah, but it stopped me from bombing him when he had the hook shot in one of the tournament qualifiers. Tip on Aga 2. Looking to be the first person on the restream to finish this seed off.
These spawns aren't very nice with Aghanim too. Really hard to connect multiple of these energy balls.
Alright, JC, we mentioned this about maybe 80 minutes ago. What's going to be special about this Ganon fight?
We're going to have no wasted warps. So when we get to phase 3, we're not going to have this nice little heart attack of when am I going to hit Ganon again?
Stop warping! Oh, spooky action. That's another glitch that has been developed ever since the first tournament.
Yeah, right about a year after the first tournament started is when that particular glitch and manipulation was found. Or manipulating how memories store something.
Alright, 2 parts of the floor down for Tim.
Yeah, we got a bird toss. We're getting a bird toss, dude.
Yeah, I think Quiz Bowl just wants to release all sorts of aggression and the seed right now. Having seen that Bombos gets him inside, and then just think of the aggression you're going to see in 3, 2, 1. Now, Tim's doing this silverless. He's the only one who, or no, Quiz Bowl didn't get silver, so but Tim's doing this silverless. Give him some credit here for this fight.
This was such a big thing back in the first tournament as well. People were so amazed that people could do this without silver.
Yeah, nowadays it's like a way of life. You have, and that's something that anybody who is getting into Link to the Past Randomizer, even to this day, that is one of the first things you're going to want to learn is how to do silverless Ganon.
At least Tempered Sword are rather greater. I mean, Master Sword Ganon is just awful.
Master Sword is awful, but you got to at least learn the execution and how to hit him and the timing and whatnot. As Timp is about ready to finish things off, I think we're a few more spins away and we'll finish things off. Missed the swing at that point. Did get the torch glitch.
And there's that final hit.
There it is, as Timp is going to raise the sword up into the air. And walk on through the door, and Timp will be the first one on our restream to finish this seed, finishing with a time of 1:40.42, which will be good for 14th overall in the race. Let's go ahead and shout out the top 13 finishers. Leslie Pro 04 was in 13th place with a 1:40.24. Sinek was in 12th with a 1:39.15. LT Gray was 11th place, 1:38.20. 10th place goes to 8th Elias, 10th 1:34.59. Josh 124, 1:34.26. Vulcan Can 1:34.02. Hydra Power 78 was 7th with 1:32.41. Cadenza was 6th place with a 1:31.55. Cyan T 5th 1:30.36. Runner Watcher was in 4th 1:29.16. Plasma Kappa Sending Help with a 3rd place finish 1:27.23. Our French ambassador, well, not French ambassador, but our French language specialist and the ambassador for Speed Gaming, Rywek, 3rd place, or rather 2nd place, with a 1:23.45.
Calculated.
Absolutely. Shoutouts to our winner of this race overall with a 1:22.22 goes to Kyung 90 2. GG's to all of you.
Side note, Rarick does blame Moldorm for that second. I'm guessing he saw a fall on Moldorm too.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that cost him the change between first and second, although there was still quite a gap between the two.
Yeah.
Also, shoutouts to the stat menu here, which was a lot more complex in version 18. Mirror uses outdoors, mirror uses in dungeons, screen transitions, rupees collected.
Alright, Greg is almost done with Ganon. Just some more geometry at the... We'll see if Agate patterns play nice.
Yeah, because it's not going to be the same patterns for all 4 of these runners. Same thing with the Ganon patterns, too, at least where he will be heading to. Giving some other runners some respect here. After Timp finished, we had a 2-second difference between Timp and Sokol 2044, 15th place 140.44. And then 10 seconds after that, we had an Irritable Penguin with a 140.54. For 16th place, Prism Lizard, 17th place 141.59. Jado Man was 18th place 143.41. Fat Boy Bull 319th place with a 143.59, and a shout outs to a triple double for Gweg.
Yo, that's where it's at.
Now, Gweg's fight against Ganon is going to be a little bit easier than what we saw from Timp because he will have the silver arrows for stage number 4.
Yep, nothing to do but to wait for these fire bats to spawn away, so... Just hacking away just for fun. I do miss these days where I just slash and I'm good on this phase while the force flying away.
And we welcome in Timp for this post-race interview, and welcome in GG's.
Thank you. Good to be here, and yeah, that was a fun one.
Shout outs to Left Side Swamp with a required item.
Yeah, and I got to bust out the brand new Diver Down for the first time in a run. Didn't get it first time, but was definitely very pleased to see progression on Left Side Swamp after making that decision and committing to flooding the key. Didn't
you have an issue with that Staphos that wanted to give you the business before you were able to get Diver Down?
Oh my god, yeah. I was like, get out of here. I think it was like the second attempt I finally just turned around and was like, okay, you need to die before I take any more attempts here.
Speaking of dying, Gweg has finished off Ganon and will be going across the finish gates here. It will finish in 21st place with a time of 1:45.41.
GG.
We had one finisher right before him, Holy Smith at 1:45.22. And 3 more signups since Greg has finished. Signups at 22nd with a 1:46.17. Darkmaster Flag in 23rd with a 1:46.36. And CompuGame finished in 24th with 1:46 and 43 seconds. We're going to see if we can get Greg in as well.
Absolutely. So we'll talk with Timp for just a few more. So Timp, you are a part of a crew that has continued to grow thanks to the growth of Link to the Past Randomizer. We got to plug you guys a little bit during the course of that. You want to talk a little bit about the Go Mode podcast?
Absolutely, I'd love to. So we got started in August of 2018, and ever since then we've been putting out bi-weekly episodes. So every 2 weeks, every other Wednesday, it's myself, Herfy Durfy, who is a main tournament admin, And for a long time, we had a buddy of ours named Axial on the show. Recently, we switched over to another buddy of ours who's very active in the community by the name of Dante. And having him on has been great. He's very knowledgeable, very, very active in the community. But yeah, every week or every other week, we talk about community events, updates with tournaments, and updates to the game, and community events like this one, for instance, we covered. And then we spend a little time talking about something a little more in depth, like farming rupees or misery mire, or we have a different topic every time, and listener emails too. So, and one time we even had Adirondack Rick on as a guest, which was a wonderful episode about commentary.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation with you guys, and we did get the chance to plug you guys. Cynic just dropped the link to if people wanted to get more information about the Go Mode podcast. But yeah, you guys have definitely been watching around with the growth of this as well as we've moved along throughout this entire thing. And we do want to give a shout out here to Globally Prower, who is going to be the next finisher on stream with about to cross the gates. We do want to let you know that we are going to have to end things off here real soon. We're not going to be able to see Quizbo make it to the finish line because we do have a Final Fantasy 1 randomizer race coming up in 9 minutes from now at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock Eastern. But I did want to give Timp a little bit of a chance to talk about this. How weird did it feel playing the version that really started the explosion of Link to the Past randomizer?
Yeah, I think the one thing that stood out to me the most was how similar it is, actually. Thankfully, we had a little bit of, in the Go Mode podcast Discord, I shamelessly reached out to our community and said, what are some of the differences? Like, help us out here. And, we got them. No chests in Waterfall Cave was one of them, non-progressive items. But, beyond those couple of things to keep in mind, it really was just the same as playing, a V31 in a lot of ways. It was weird getting those capacity upgrades. That was probably the biggest reminder continuously that it was not V31. But overall, the new glitches still worked. Diver Down worked just fine. All those worked. So it was very much, just playing rando.
The one big mechanic that was different here that impacted this seed was the fact that the lamp could be buried later on in the seed, and that was what opened up the possibility of you having to go up the mountain without the lamp because of the free light cone in the light world to get to the moon pearl into the Tower of Hera, and then getting to the pyramid afterwards, which led you to the hook shot, which got you to the lamp on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, and Hype Cave was also very hype again, which I was kind of given a warning about. But yeah, I do want to go on record as saying I did realize that I would have that fake cone in AGA 1. I just put it off because I just really didn't want to do AGA 1.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
Yeah.
Which we understand. Let's talk to Chloe Prower here before we wrap things up. GG's to you.
Hi, GG's. How are things?
GG's?
What would you like to say to Left Side Swamp?
Whatever.
There we go. I think that's enough said right there.
I went in for the one item just because I found the big key. Sure, I'll check the big chest out. One item on left. It can't possibly bone me, but it did. I figured the one troll item would have been that moon pearl, but I guess not. Oh well.
Yeah, unfortunately the flute ended up getting you, but GG's, how did it feel to play 18 again?
It felt alright. Lamp logic is a little weird, but that's why I went to Eastern early, because it's not really considered out of logic. But then Eastern was empty. I ended up doing every dungeon too, which was it. But it's interesting playing on this mode with the glitches that we know now. So
yeah. Which probably helped yield the 122-22 that we saw from Kyong 92. So we've got to start wrapping up here because once again we have a race coming up in 5 minutes for the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Spring Tournament. So we're not going to be able to see Quizbowl come to the end, but be sure to head over to twiz.tv/Quizbowl. Cheer him on to the finish. Anything that you two want to say in regards to version 18, this throwback race, or the last 3 years as a whole for the Link to the Past randomizer community?
I would just say, again, going back to my comments of how similar it was, I think that really speaks to the devs, that they know kind of what makes this game great, but they also do a really great job making those small changes to make it even better. So I just say, here's the 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, this has been just an amazing community over the past couple of years. Everyone is super nice, helpful, and to be able to tournaments and leagues and all these updates and just even the behind the scenes of the dev work and the sprite work and the music work for people making MSUs and everything. I mean, it's just an awesome community, and it's been great.
Absolutely. So shout outs to all of that going on. And if you who are watching this right now want to test out some version 18 seeds, some play, get some nostalgia for how it was 3 years ago in the first tournament, I believe Senek is still in there. I can drop the link because right now our command is not working, but Quizbowl bombing another chest. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. JC, anything you want to add before we sign off?
No, not really. So we've got a lot of more fun things planned and coming up.
Absolutely.
I think I need to try and coordinate some more overworld glitches and no logic stuff and entrance randomizer. We haven't showcased that for a while.
Yeah, well, we're going to be showcasing a lot of entrance randomizer coming up real soon with the Cross Keys week in the league. So maybe after week 5.
But at this point, we need to take her bow so we can have some Final Fantasy randomizer action coming up in just a couple minutes now.
Yeah, stay tuned here to Speed Gaming 3 Final Fantasy 1 randomizer spring tournament coming up next. Shoutouts also to Saber UX who was doing the tracking for us. Shoutouts to the Sinek who put this all together for us as well. Thank you to everyone for joining us. I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us. Final Fantasy 1 randomizer next here on Speed Gaming 3.